All right, NorCal Carters, I'm back, and today we have a special guest. It's going to be Gary Carlton, also known as GFC. You want to say hello real quick?
Hello, everyone.
So we'll get to Gary in a moment. Real quickly, some updates. We're going to have a race at KPX this week. I'm sorry, Prairie City. It's the KPX race at Prairie City. That is going to be this weekend. There's also the California Rock Championship at Willow Springs. It's a little further south for our NorCal crew, but we have a number of drivers from the NorCal area that are heading down there. So again, this weekend on the NorCalCarters.com calendar, we have the KPX event at Prairie City, which is in Rancho Cordova, and we have the California Rock Championship down at Willow Springs in Rosamond, California. So right now, just perfect timing. We had Gary show up, and Gary, what are you doing this week?
We're just going down to Willow Springs for the second round of the California Rock Championship. We got 4 drivers going down for that. Zach Pedanici, who's going to be with VRP Racing, but on the GFC GT14 shifter chassis. And then my team will be bringing down 3 drivers. We always do a collaboration with VRP and Diego Valverde. So we'll have all 4 drivers there together. But myself will be bringing down Cole Shade, what everyone calls him Plu, because we all can't pronounce his name. But we
Can you spell his name for me, please?
No, it's Warong Kamarul, or I mean, it's so bad. I mean, he's one of my clients, and he's been with us for almost the whole year, and I still can't say his name. So we call him Pluski, whatever you'd like to call him. Very fast driver, and then we have Cole Bailey, the winner of round 1. He'll be coming back from Arizona. So got a good group of drivers to go down for that. It's unfortunate that there's so many race series nowadays that it lands on top of the KPX right here and close to home, and we definitely, as a team and as a brand, we'd like to try to get out to the KPX races, and we were actually looking into doing the last one because it's the only one that didn't lie on one of our races that we had originally planned, was up in Reno, but now they scheduled a rock race in Amarillo, Texas. So we were planning on going to Reno. We might have some presence in Reno still, even if my team goes to Amarillo, Texas in August. But it's just kind of a bummer that there's so many races and can't just be everywhere at one time, right? But that's where we're at. We decided to support the Rock Series along with the SCUSA Series. We're going to try to go out to Newcastle here, and I think that's in August also, or September, I can't remember. It all kind of blends together. But we're supporting the Rock Series naturally up in Sonoma. Being it's close to home, there's an 8-race series. We've been going and doing all those. We just got done with that race there, and then headed right to Willow Springs after that, and then I think we get a short break, and then I think we're right back into Sonoma, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, there is definitely a lot of racing going on, and it's hopefully this new podcast can highlight the races so these different racers can go pick and choose what they want to do. But for someone like Gary, how many employees do you have?
I'm kind of my own employee. I don't have anyone else really at my shop right now. If it gets a little bit too tech, obviously at the races we have mechanics for the drivers. So, yeah, I do have employees, so to speak, at the racetrack. But when I'm at the shop, I'm pretty much doing everything by myself: unloading, loading, prepping go-karts, working on websites, invoicing, shipping. So it's in all of our social media and everything else. And been working hard on a website. We're going to launch that very soon. It's just basically tying up some loose ends. I know that's been a long time coming and probably something we should have had a long time ago, but with time, budgets, and everything else, it just wasn't in the cards. But finally dropped the hammer on that. Having a lot of work, a lot of late nights with that, but we'll be excited when that gets out, and it'll be a lot better, I think, for myself to promote my business, not tell people to just go to an Instagram page, but actually have a proper website, and everyone can check out our products and get the specs and kind of see what we're about in terms of what services we offer, from coaching, arrive and drive, dealerships, and everything in between. So definitely a lot of work and a lot of movement going on, and we hope to. Well, I guess I hope to grow my business and grow the brand, and hopefully get some more drivers. And I think the biggest thing now, and once I think we've kind of proven that our stuff's good. We've had numerous drivers win on our product already, and I think that's a really big feather in our cap. I mean, yeah, some people will go around and say, oh, there haven't been national races, but I mean, the very first national race we did win. So
yeah,
and then we've been able to win at regional level now and national with numerous drivers. So I think it shows the strength of the product. So now we gotta get a little bit more professional, get our website up, and then get the ball rolling on that, and try to get some dealer networks and everything else. But Rome's not built in a day, and I'm definitely not going to be the guy who just rushes into something because everyone says I need to be doing. I'm going to do it my way and do it methodically, and not get over in my head that I need to do more than I already am, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of hats to wear if it's primarily you. Well, first, before I forget, do you have a name picked out for the domain on your website?
Yeah, it'll be www.gfckarting.com. So it's very easy. And yeah, I would hope in the next couple weeks, to be honest, we might launch it with a few loose ends, trying to have a little driver bio page, and try to get everyone's picture and everything else. It is not an easy task, but yeah, for the most part, I mean, have all the information about our race team, about our coaching services, about our chassis, and chassis that will be coming in 2020. We probably could announce on here that we'll be producing a cadet chassis, as right now we only do a tag and a shifter chassis. So we kind of see the need of a cadet chassis. We're just waiting on the homologation period overseas. The FIA has now mandated cadets will have a homologation just like the bigger carts, so we're just kind of waiting to see what the rules and regulations will be for the cadet before we go designing something and then have them maybe change the regulation and have to redo it all. So what we're doing is we're just waiting for that, and then by 2020 we'll have a cadet that will be for sale under our name, and we'll be starting to service the little guys as much as we do with the tag and the shifter group.
So for those that don't know, over in Europe and the FIA, can you quickly explain what homologation is and what it means?
So homologation is basically a way for them to keep costs down. Basically, we have to homologate a chassis for every 3 years, and basically it doesn't allow us to change much on the chassis. There's like a 10% variance plus and minus that we can do, like 10 millimeter plus and minus, width wise, and it's the amount of bends in the cart and everything. So it basically limits you to produce or develop a brand new product every year that everyone would maybe have to go buy. And with the cadet, it was just kind of open. The cadet chassis was just, there was no regulation. There was maybe a regulation for every country, and maybe every country would be a little bit different, so you'd maybe have to build as a manufacturer upwards of 5-6 different cadet chassis to accommodate all these different countries. Now they just said, okay, this is getting a bit crazy. Well, why don't we just make it like the bigger carts? Because I think how it was here in the States, obviously cadet racing has always been extremely popular. Maybe not in the last couple of years it's kind of gone down, but before, it was actually the biggest classes. Where in European competition, it was not. And now it's kind of funny, it's kind of reversed. Now in Europe, many manufacturers are having cadet factory teams because the cadet market is actually very, very large, and now they're trying to put a little bit of control to the cost on the cadet program, just like how they did with the bigger carts.
Got it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it basically the homologation, like you already stated, is every 3 years. So 1 year is a chassis, the following year is either engine and tire, and then the third year is what's left over, either the engine or tire, and then it starts over. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think, don't quote me on this, it's obviously every 3 years, and I want to say they always stagger it. And I think the tire is the one that's staggered. I think they do 1 year engines, 1 year chassis, and 1 year tires, if I'm not mistaken. But I just kind of always just watch the chassis one. I know in the chassis ones and the tires, I really don't have much control. No one does in the sense. And in the engine manufacturing, I mean, obviously I'm not in that, and anything engine-wise here in the States is usually not a homologated engine anyways, in the sense of, Rock has its own deal, and SCUSA has its IAME, and those are not considered homologated engines, as in when they do the CIK FIA races, when they're doing the OK or KZ classes.
Okay, that's some good insight there from Gary Carlton. And so with the NorCal calendar, I'm just going to re-hit on it again. This coming weekend, we have California Rock Championship. Gary is actually traveling down to that event with his team. We have the KPX at Prairie City. Next Saturday, we have the NCK Road Racers at Thunder Hill. They're actually going to be on the West Track, which I know the layout. I've never driven it, but from my understanding, it's a fast sprint track or a partially slow road racing track. So that should be a lot of fun. Again, that's the NCK Road Racers. That's going to be June 29th. And Gary, so after this weekend, again, you're going down to Willow Springs for the Rock Championship. What are your plans after that? You had highlighted Amarillo.
Yeah. Obviously, we'll be doing all the Sonoma races. We're definitely still looking for drivers to add on to that program for the Sonoma Race Series. And then, we're looking at Amarillo in Texas, the Rock Fest out there. I guess that track. I haven't personally been out there, but I think I spoke with the Frenches, Jake French, they're out of Texas, and Mark French, and they said it's probably one of the best go-kart tracks that they've ever driven on. So we're actually really excited to go out there. The Rock family is always put on great events, and we definitely like going and supporting those guys. And if we can get enough guys down there, I think I was actually on the phone with a few Mexican clients. Obviously, we're close to Mexico, being in Texas, so they might want to come. And then hopefully we'll get a few guys out here from NorCal that will go out there too and try to show everyone what NorCal is all about. And then definitely looking at the SCUSA Pro Tour, the last round of the Pro Tour in Indianapolis with Pickett Racing.
Yep, so that will be August. The SCUSA Pro Tour will be August at Newcastle. Fantastic facility, beautiful track. That's going to be August 9th through the 12th. I'm sorry, 9th through the 11th for the SCUSA Pro Tour in Newcastle. So you're going to be traveling a lot in August.
Yeah. August is going to be tough. I was actually just looking at the calendar before coming up here. August is going to be crazy in the sense of if Pickett Racing does decide to go and do Indianapolis, I'll be there to support them, and then I'll probably have to fly right back after that race, get ready to go to Sonoma. We got the Sonoma series, and then I probably leave straight from the August round of the Sonoma series to go straight to Amarillo after that. So August will be definitely extremely, extremely busy.
Yeah, and then if you're doing the other California Rock Championship in September, so Memorial Day weekend, you're going to be right back there, and
being that's the last round of the championship. I mean, I'm sure I would hope my drivers would be in the championship standings and would want to go to that. So it might be even a thing we go straight from Sonoma to Amarillo straight to Calspeed.
Yeah, so we have about a minute left, and you mentioned your drivers. Hopefully, they're in the championship. I noticed on some of your social media posts, and some of your drivers have been posting on Instagram and Facebook and some other outlets. You had a number of drivers at the last race at Sonoma bringing home trophies. Yeah,
and that's the one thing I pride myself on, being able to get everyone in the team fast. And we had four podiums last race, and like I said, over the time that we've launched the go-kart in our team, we've had 5 different winners in the kart. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and list them all, and being that we don't have much time left. But that's kind of my whole thing, is to try to make every driver fast and not just focus on one, but give everyone the equal time and the equal equipment and a chance to do well on my team.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. So Gary, the one-man show, kind of. I mean, he does bring in hired help. But I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to take 15 minutes with us.
Yeah, anytime, and I'm always here at Sweet Tech, because Sweet Tech's always been a huge supporter of us, and I can't thank them enough in Rainy.
Thank you, Gary.